What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another collectible cultural central video. Today might be like 4 days since I last posted, or 3 days, I don't know. But sorry, I'm a little out of breath running up the stairs. I had to bring a bunch of comics down because this is one of the second to last comic collection video. I know I was gonna say I was gonna stop after Z, but I do have more comic related stuff that are literally comics. Mainly like trade paperbacks, omnibuses, all that fun stuff. Giant size comics that I didn't include in my collection. So yeah, it's gonna be this and then my graded comics, and then that will be completely done. I might honestly do like a Lego collection overall, but I'll just see how this video goes and see if you guys like it. But yeah, so this is the Miscellaneous, or I don't really know what to call it. It's like Miscellaneous comic part of the collection. But yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna start with, I've already had them like split up into different groups because I know. Yeah, okay. Alright, this is gonna be not too organized, but these are just random comic things that I have. Alright, this one is Infinity Countdown #1. This is like a little paper flyer that basically advertised the Infinity Stones, which was basically Infinity War. I think this was created around the same time, 2018. Infinity War is like 2019 or something. Or not. Yeah, I think around that. But yeah, it's pretty much, these are the comics that advertised. Was Infinity Countdown Adam Warlock, Infinity Countdown Prime, #1, #2, #3, Captain Marvel #1, Daredevil #1, Darkhawk #1, #4, Black Widow #1, Champions #1, Darkhawk #2, and Darkhawk #3, Infinity Countdown #5, Champions #2, and Darkhawk #4. So this is just like an advertisement flyer that I got from like a local comic shop. Next up, we have some of my older trade paperbacks before I actually collected comics. This was, let's see here. This is Captain America Civil War. I don't really know. It's like more in a kid style, but it is from actual comics, but it uses like kids comics. Let's see. This collects Marvel Universe Avengers Assemble #3, 11, 13. Marvel Universe Avengers Assemble Season 2, #4, and #6. And the material from Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero 2011 #1. And Marvel's Universe Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero #8. Honestly, I used to read this all the time. Great. Just everything inside is fun. It's just like a condensed kind of mini version of comics. Very small, honestly. I do have 2 more of these. I have a Deadpool and Wolverine one, which collected Marvel Adventures Superheroes 2010 #4, Marvel's Universe Ultimate Spider-Man Web Warriors #8, Free Comic Book Day 2009 Wolverine, and Marvel Adventures Spider-Man 2010 #3. This is probably my favorite one because Deadpool was absolutely hilarious in this. Even though it's like a kid version, you can see it's more like a mature art style as well on the back. And then we do have, sorry, I'm getting a little sick as well. We do have Guardians of the Galaxy, which collected Marvel Universe Guardians of the Galaxy #1 through 4. And these were just great little trade paperbacks that were much smaller and for kids, which I was a kid. I used to be a young child. Let's go on to, I actually have a lot of these. These are Marvel like big trade paperbacks. First one is giant size Little Avengers versus Little X-Men Marvel. This collected giant size Little Marvel Avengers versus X-Men #1 through 4, and then A Babies versus X Babies #1. I believe this was illustrated by Scotty Young, because I do know the art style. Oh, yeah, there's a signature SY in 2015. Once again, this is for kids, and this is absolutely amazing. When I was a kid, I was like one of the best ones as well. Just amazing. All of the comics inside were just funny. But yeah, next up we have one I've read once and not again, because I do not like this character, Captain Marvel. This is the second one in this little trade paperback series. This collected Captain Marvel 2014 #7 through 11. The only thing I do like is the amount of flirkins on the cover and Rocky Raccoon. But personally, Captain Marvel, the character, I really dislike. Next up is part of my favorite one, because I actually have two of these, or two different. This is Spider-Man and Deadpool. Don't call it a team up. This is number 0, which collected. Let's see here. Deadpool number 11, Cable and Deadpool number 24, Amazing Spider-Man number 611, Deadpool 2008 19 through 21, Avengers Spider-Man 12 through 13, Deadpool 2012 10, and Deadpool Annual number 2. This was absolutely amazing. It does say parental advisory on the back. I did read this as a kid. Awesome. The jokes inside of this were amazing. Made me laugh every time I read it. Just awesome. Next one is number 3 from that series, which is Spider-Man Deadpool Itsy Bitsy. This one collected Spider-Man / Deadpool 9 through 10, 13 through 14, and 17 through 18. So it's much smaller. But once again, just great comic books inside. I believe Hit Monkey was part of this one, which was a great part of that comic book and comic series. Next up is a pretty big one, which is called The Infinity War, which collected Infinity War number 1 through 6, Marvel Comics Presents 108 through 111, and Warlock and the Infinity Watch number 7 through 10. This was absolutely awesome because Infinity War, as you can understand, released a movie, and I was like, I need to have this book. So I asked my parents day after day, every time I went to like Barnes & Noble, I think, because they have a bunch of these. And I was like, can you please just get me one? And they finally caved in and got me this, and it was absolutely amazing. Next up is my oldest one, if I do not believe, from like 2014. From one of my dad's friends for Christmas, actually. It's Captain America, the Winter Soldier Ultimate Collection from Ed Brubaker. Pretty much one of the best Marvel series ever released. Yeah, this collected Captain America number 1 through 9 and 11 through 14 from Ed Brubaker. Honestly, this was probably the best other than the Deadpool ones, because this just, it kind of really, I think this was actually before I got the Iron Man comic that I showed you the eyes, no, actually the U's, because it was the Ultimate Iron Man. But this one probably got me into comics the most. So whoever got me this, thanks for that. And then next up we have Moon Knight. This collected, let's see here, Moon Knight 2016 number 1 through 14. Moon Knight's one of my favorite characters, especially after that Marvel series, which was absolutely awesome. Which had Mark Spector, Jake Lockley, and Stephen Grant, I think. All great acting by, I'm forgetting his name. I actually do have a really nice book that might have got signed by him. I keep forgetting his name. What is his name? I don't know. But yeah, this is a great story. I read this as well. And then we have one for like the Golden Age. This is Captain America Penguin Classics Marvel Collection. This collected, I can't really see it on the back, but let's just flip through here. I know it collected a lot of older comics, good Golden Age. Like the first Captain America comics that you could think of were in here. That's why it's such a thick book. But yeah, that is all the Marvel ones. Let me just set them back up right here. Next up, I'm going to do more Marvel ones, but they're Star Wars because they do comics for them. These are just trade paperbacks once again. This is Star Wars Skywalker Strikes. This collected Star Wars 2015, number 1 through 6. So basically like the reboot of Star Wars for Marvel. Is collected all in this. I read all these as well. I got these for cheap because I don't know where I got them from, but I got them for all for $3, and that was just a great deal. Like how many comics? Like 10 comics, and for $3 is crazy. Next one is Poe Dameron, Black Squadron. Once again, the same actor. What is his name? I don't know. I forgot his name, but this collected Poe Dameron number 1 through 6. Next up, we have Star Wars Han Solo, which collected Han Solo number 1 through 5. And then my favorite one out of all of them is this hardcover Star Wars one that collected Star Wars number 15 to 25 and annual number 1. Honestly, the cover just looks amazing. I think I got this for $5 or $10 from the same place, and it is absolutely great. I do recommend these trade paperbacks if you do not want to buy the comics, which might be a little expensive. Next up, we're going to do some DC trade paperbacks and an omnibus, actually. Alright, so for this one, we have Batman 66, which is like a large series, I think 30 comics from DC, based off of the TV show. I actually have volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which I think collected every single one of them. Yes. Alright, so volume number 1 collected number... one... Doesn't say. I would like to know. Oh, number 1 through 5. Okay. This is collected number 1 through 5. Sorry. This one collected 6 through 10, which is volume 2. Volume 3 collected... I wish it would say on the back like the Marvel ones. It collected 11 through 16. So I'm assuming this one collected like 17 through 22 or something. Yeah, this one collected 17 to 22. And then the Batman The Lost Episode number 1, which was actually from the series, but it was literally a lost episode from that show. And then our last one, volume 5, collected 23 through 30, if you could guess. But yeah, this was awesome. It's just classic Batman. But not really classic. It's like a newer comic series, but based off of older Batman just media, which is pretty awesome. It's probably one of my top trade paperbacks, and then I think it might be my favorite out of everything, other than one more thing. Sorry. This is Batman the Golden Age Omnibus Volume 1. Alright, so I'll tell you what it collects. It collects Detective Comics 27 through 56, meaning the first appearance of Batman in comics. Batman number 1 through 7 is first solo series. New York World's Fair Comics, which had Batman and Superman, I believe. World's Best Comics, once again, with Superman and Batman. World's Finest Comics number 2 and 3, which went after World's Best Comics, which is once again Batman and Superman. But yeah, that is everything inside of this. Is very thick. I think I got it for like 100, 120 or something. Just because it's very sought after, because trying to read these books is hard. I think there is one website I'm not going to say because it might be very scammy. But you can read comics for free. But this is just like having like a physical copy to read while not having to purchase Detective Comics number 27 for like $3 million. So this is a great alternative. So yeah, that is the DC comic portion. I'm going to do... There's a few more miscellaneous like Marvel like advertisement stuff, and then I'm going to get into some bigger ones. Alright, actually I do have this weird thing. This is Comic Shop News. This is actually like a real thing. This is issue number 1912, the world's greatest comic shop newspaper, from April 10th. I think it just did like a bunch of different comic stuff, comic related stuff, like movies and stuff. I don't even know what that is. This was just in my pile. Next up is like another one, Marvel Universe free for Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers number 1. There's more advertisement stuff. Let's see what else we have here, actually. I haven't looked through this in a while. Marvel Universe free, the Uncanny X-Men number 1. Marvel Now. I've actually read through this a lot because it's one of my first ones. It's actually worth... Oh, not this one. Sorry. This one's pretty cool. This one's actually worth like a weirdly large amount, like $15 or something. Foom number 1. It was free. I don't really know why it's worth that much, but who knows. Now I have like this big thing called Venomized number 1, where it showed like the whole like Venom series, like all of this stuff. Let's see what it says here. It says Homecoming, Return of Eddie Brock, Edge of Venomverse, Venomverse, Lethal Protector, Venom Inc., Poison X, and Interdimensional Adventures. So it's basically going through the comic list from this Venomized series. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. And then there's like a secret Venom project at the back, which it literally says wait until next month. So these are just advertisement things I don't really care about, but they're pretty cool. They're just little things I can highlight for my comic collection. Next up, we're going to do some really weird stuff. I don't even know what it is. I got them from an antique shop in Collinsville. So let's start off. I have them all categorized. The first one is Drag Cartoons, 1966, number 33. So pretty old. It's just like a large format comic, kind of magazine. Next up is Hot Rod Cartoons, which is the bigger series from this, which is from 1964. And some of these are actually worth a decent amount, like 30 to 40. And I think one is actually worth like 150 to 200, but I do not know which one it is. Because these do not have numbers on it, so it makes it kind of hard. Hot Rod Cartoons, from 1965. March 1966 from the same series. I believe this is the same thing. Cartoons is the same series this is 1964. I think this is actually might be the one that's like 150, but since it's got like this whole big thing missing off the cover, it might be a little cheap, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Another Cartoons one from February 1965. Another one from October 1965. This one actually is like the witch one, so that one's worth a decent amount. Halloween related. And then this one's from August 1966. So those were very miscellaneous things that were just camping out in my comic collection. They're falling apart as I speak, as I wipe off some comic dust from them. I'm going to show, there's 3 more things, so I'm going to show them all. One of them is very large, and I'm going to save it for the end. This one is not really a comic, but it is. This is Star Wars A New Hope Cinestory comic. It basically, it's a photo of all the dialogue. It's like the dialogue over the photos from the movie. It's actually pretty cool. It's like watching a movie, basically, but in a comic form. So that's pretty cool. Next is, I'm going to do the big one first. This one is like a very large format Monsters Unleashed hardcover. I don't know if you can hear me behind this, but this is collected Monsters Unleashed number 1 through 5. So literally 5 comics, but it's this large. I don't know if you can tell, but it is probably the size of my torso. Pretty crazy. I did read this through a lot of times. It has some rips on like the side of the binding. It's kind of falling apart, but yeah, that is my biggest thing in my comic collection, like biggest comic. And then we actually do have one that is worth a lot. This one is Star Wars Marvel Special Edition, number 1. But what makes it worth much more is the Whitman variant that you can see in the top right or top left corner. This basically collects, this is Star Wars number 1, but it's in large format. Obviously, you can see that. Marvel Special Edition and it's Collector's Edition. But the Whitman variant makes it worth like 200 to 250 bucks. Besides that, it would have been like 30 to 40. Which is just like the one on the back, which is Star Wars number 2 special edition. There's actually 3 of them, I think. This one did... This might have been Empire Strikes Back or is still just A New Hope. I'm not sure, but this one does not have the Whitman variant because you don't see it right up here. But it's still worth like 30, 40, 50 bucks. I actually got the pair of these for 20 bucks in Brimfield. It was absolutely the best. It might have been the best day at Brimfield that day. But yeah, that is my miscellaneous comic collection, part of my comic collection. We have one more thing coming, which is the graded comic collection. I think I have 4 books from that, and I think that would be it. Just let me know if you guys want to see a Lego collection, like Lego minifigure collection or pop figure collection. I'd do some other miscellaneous stuff, but I don't know if I can take it down because it is pretty fragile. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and bye-bye.